All right. Hey, everybody. What's up? This is Omo, and this is my second video for my channel, Age Quality, talking about the journey through my weight loss surgery and then beyond. Just first things first, my air conditioner unfortunately went out today. Got maintenance, got a friend that's going to come by and get it all fixed up tomorrow. But for today, we are cooling the house with fans and a little bit lighter of a tire. I'm wearing a tank top, stuff like that. So forgive me if you hear the fan buzzing in the background. I don't think it'll be too much of an issue, but just so you guys know what's going on. Anyway, so like I said, what's up, y'all? This is Omo's second video for this channel. Please subscribe. Check back for updated videos. Looks like I'm going to be doing about once a week. So please hit that button so you know when a new video has popped up. So today we are going to talk about my diet. So in particular, because there's going to be a couple other episodes in the future talking about other stages of the diet. But today we are going to discuss the pre-diet or pre-surgery, what I have to do to prepare. So this whole thing kicks off about 10 days before your surgery date. So the plan is to be on 1,000-calorie diet for 7 days. Really 10 days, but 7 days, 1,000-calorie diet, meaning I can still eat things that I want to eat. There's no really restriction other than I cannot get higher than 1,000 calories. So that is going to be a test. I think it's great that I get to start out a little bit before with kind of tapering my diet and eating things that are healthier and still making sure I'm getting all of the nutrients and things that I need. So I'm looking forward to just this whole process and starting it. I have a few ideas of how I'm going to try to make some things that I just like, and just eat that kind of repetitively, meal prep, stuff like that. So I have things that are easy to fix when I have to get out to work or whatever. So I don't have to make this elaborate meal every time I get ready to eat. So I said 10 days. So 7 days is that 1,000-calorie diet to where that's what you're eating. You're eating under 1,000 calories. And then 3 days before the surgery, so after that 7 days, 3 days before the surgery, you go all to liquid. And it's still that 1,000 calorie, but you are only able to have liquids. So I have also prepared for that, getting some shakes and different things that I can that I hopefully will keep me somewhat satisfied. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit miserable, but hopefully not too much. And hopefully I can get this thing going and not be too bad. Another thing I wanted to mention, before you go into surgery, they tell you do not partake in red things like red dyes. So even if you are able to find something that's red, and consume that, and it stays within that diet plan, they tell you stay away from reds. And the obvious reason is because they're doing surgery on you and they don't want to get that red dye that might be, I guess, in there, get mixed up with blood or whatever the reason is. But that's kind of what the nurse explained to me. Just stay away from anything with red dyes in it. So I thought that was kind of interesting that it was really just that simple, because it matches the color of your blood. So stay away from it because we don't want any complications for something that simple, just to stay away from that. The reason for the 10-day, and then the liquids for that last 3 days is because the doctor explained to me he wants for my liver to liver. I'm not really sure about exactly what organs, but I'm pretty sure he said liver. He wants things around my stomach to shrink. And so that just helps them get into there better, make sure that everything is just a little bit easier, less complications, less trauma to the body, and so it kind of shrinks up some of those organs or whatever's around your stomach so that they can get in there with a little bit of ease. And so definitely, it's like, I don't want to have to do all of this. I mean, it's going to be a journey after the surgery, but you're like, man, I got to start this before. But when they explain it to me like that, well, heck yeah, I want for my body to be 100%, able that they can get in there and get what they need done without any more trauma or doing anything outside of the ordinary. So whatever I can do pre-surgery to get that done, I'm going to do. So it makes so much sense to stick to the diet that they have told me to stick to, 7 days below 1,000 calories, and then 3 days of just all liquid, and of course still remaining below that 1,000 calorie. What I will say, one thing that they have told me about as well that I wanted to point out is I have to restrict my caffeine intake. And as we go through this journey, and some people who already know me, I am a huge coffee drinker. I'm a bit of a coffee snob, if you want to say. I love my coffee. That was one thing I said I cannot give up. And so luckily I don't have to give it up, but I cannot have the caffeine. So my coffee or my caffeine intake has to dwindle or has to be reduced. Sorry. It has to be reduced. And so that, I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. When I go out and order at different places, just ask for caffeine free. Of course, at home, I will do caffeine free. So I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue, but that is something that they strongly recommend that you reduce your caffeine intake before surgery. And then after surgery, it's recommended that you reduce that caffeine intake. Still, in fact, they say no caffeine for the first 7 days. And then, of course, you can start introducing it back, but it's only as your body tolerates. Because the reason why they're telling us, or why they tell people to reduce certain things or stay away, is because it can really hurt your body and make that recovery process even harder than it already is, with your body trying to heal from the trauma of surgery. And so I think it makes perfect sense, when it's explained that we just want you to have the easiest way back to your normal life and normal body. This is the reason why we're telling you this stuff. It's not just to be whatever. It is really just because we want you to heal properly. We want you to have an easy recovery. So if you stay away from these things, it'll help. So I will be staying away from, of course, red dyes. I'll be staying away from caffeine, at least greatly reducing it. Staying away from fatty foods. I mean, that goes without saying. As far as even a weight loss surgery or just your regular life, we all need to try to limit our intake of fatty foods, and even more so when going through this process. So the last thing I'm going to mention is water intake. So it is a big deal that you stay hydrated. I think that's true for anybody, but of course, on this journey, they make it very clear that you need to stay very hydrated.